Hi, y'all. I decided to have a little chat with you today before we went out to town. Um, no, I'm not on my porch swing. I'm actually on the opposite side of the porch in one of my wicker chairs. I like to sit over here too sometimes, especially if the sun comes in real bright over on the opposite side of the porch. And, but today it's rainy. Um, I can hear the rain now, and I love sitting out here when it's raining, but the rain was coming in and the wind was blowing a little bit. So it was blowing the rain in on me, and I was, that cool rain was, chilling me. So I wanted to come over here and sit on the opposite side of the porch, and hubby's in there getting ready, and I thought I would come out and chat with you before we left for the day and just update you a little bit about things going on and see what you've been into. And yeah, that's what we're going to do for just a few minutes. Let's see, what has been going on with me? Well, I had my doctor's appointment yesterday finally for the hematologist, and it went pretty good. Um, he went all over the lab work and all the results and all my history and things that have been going on for the last few months and just, my medical history and everything. And he said that, the Eliquis, the blood thinner that I'm on, that I would have to be on it for the rest of my life. I was hoping that, it'd only be a 3 to 6 months, deal. But he said with, the type of blood clots that I developed, and with my medical history of having lupus and lupus, you are very susceptible to blood clots. And he said that, it was not safe for me to go off the Eliquis because, I can have blood clots at any time, not just, after surgery or, he said any kind of stress on the body can bring blood clots back, with lupus. So I have to be on Eliquis for the rest of my life, which I'm not happy about, but, I just have to deal with it, I guess. But, he went over all the risk factors of being on it. And then if any time I decided I didn't want to be on it, all the risk factors of not being on it. So he was very thorough in everything. And, like I said, it was a good appointment. And I was in there a while, and he was discussing, a lot of my condition and the blood work and things. And it was a good appointment. So now I know that I have to be on the blood thinners for the rest of my life and precautions I have to look out for. And he discussed the lupus at length, and which, I've had that for years, so I know about it. But he just wanted me to be aware of some more things and everything and discuss that more at length with me. So, like I said, it was a good appointment. And hubby is doing really well. He went for his follow-up surgery appointment last week, and he got a really good report. And so he was even released to go back to most of his normal activities. He can mow the lawn, which he's very happy about. He couldn't wait to get back to mowing the lawn. Actually, I think he went back the very next day. He wanted to mow our lawn, so he got back to that. And he's doing really good. And he'll follow back up with the surgeon here in the next month or two. And, of course, they'll do more labs and things. Just, they'll follow him regularly until he's, until they can finally release him. But he's doing really good, and I'm so happy about that. And thank you all for the prayers for him, and the prayers for me too, because you've stood by me and everything, and I thank you for that. So yeah, and if you'll notice, just the other night I dropped what they call a bedtime whisper story, which is something I've never done before. But it was National Storytelling Day, and I wanted to come up with something for National Storytelling Day, and I didn't find out, about it, that it was National Storytelling Day until, about it was that morning, and then I said, well, what can I do for it? And, I was busy that day, and I thought, I have never done anything for nighttime, so I just come up with that to do for nighttime, and I've been thinking about maybe from time to time doing some maybe nighttime maybe not necessarily stories, but it could be stories, but some narrative, some soft-spoken, relaxing videos that, everybody could listen to maybe at night, just for, peaceful, calming, relaxing, before, turn in, for bed at night, or just while you're sitting there and you might need something, just something peaceful at night. So I just want to get your thoughts on that. If that would be something that you would like to listen to, or if you think, that would be something, good for my channel, or whatever, because you're my friends, and I'm coming to you and asking you if, along with my Friday stories, if you think maybe once a week, I'm not sure what day of the week I would do it, since I'm having a story on Friday, so it wouldn't be on Friday. Maybe, I don't know, a Sunday night to reset your week. Maybe a nice, calming, relaxing nighttime whisper story or whisper narration. So, yeah, I just like to have your thoughts on that. If it's something you would like to listen to, that's just something in the back of my mind. And if it's something you'd like to hear, just let me know, and I'll work on it. I'm just kind of wanting to, expand my channel a little bit and do different things that I really love, or things that you might like to hear. And my stories, I just love doing them. And I'm thinking about doing some story series, and that would be some of the stories I've done. I want to expand them, a little bit more, because, all my stories I can actually see, having more chapters to them. I think every story I do, I can actually see a book in every story, because there's so much to tell. But I thought maybe, maybe 1 month, focus on just one story, because, there's usually like 4 Fridays in a month, in most months. And maybe every Friday, focus on that same story. Maybe have like 4 chapters in the story. So each Friday, continue the chapter. And you can let me know if that's something that you would like to listen to, or if you would just like to keep it at just one, just that one story, and next time have a different story. I wouldn't do that all the time, have like, the continuing stories, just maybe just once in a while. Because I like to bring, different stories to you with, different, characters and everything. But I know some of you have, in the comments, put, that you would like to hear more about that character or whatever. And, that is something I have always thought about, and I actually do have some stories that I have wrote continuing chapters to, but I have never put them on here. I've just put that one chapter, or just that one story. But I would love to hear your thoughts on continuing stories with continuing chapters. Like, let's see, like Irma. In one of my stories, somebody commented on Irma, and they asked me, said, does Irma ever take a vacation? And, I thought that was so funny and so cute. And I thought, I could do a continuing story with Irma. And, I think the story title was Grits and Grace, and Irma was in that. And so I could do a story, continue with Irma. And, she could take a vacation. But, Irma, even on vacation, she's going to hand out, her advice and everything. So, yeah. But so you could just tell me, your thoughts on, my stories, if you'd like to have continuing stories, and especially the bedtime. I think that I would call that series Bedtime Whisper Stories. And so give me your thoughts on that and everything. I would love to hear them. And so I think I better wrap this up, because we have got to get to town. But before I do, something I want to say is today marks the 10th anniversary or whatever of my brother's passing away. He passed away 10 years today. His name was Jerry, and he was such a fantastic person, a special person. We were friends. He was my big brother, but he was such a special friend to me. And I wanted to, oh goodness, if I can get through this, that's one reason I didn't want to say much about it. And I wanted to leave it at the end of the video and talk about him. But, like I said, he was my big brother, but a lot of times, I was the one that took care of him, and he would call me sis, and I missed that. And Yeah. So it was just very special to me. And maybe at the end of this video, I'll do a little tribute to him. And yeah, I would love to talk about him more, but it still hurts 10 years later. But I think I'll just close for now and maybe put a little tribute to him at the end of this video. But I love you all. And let's just go into the rest of this week gracefully, and let's go with God, and let's just go gently. Bye-bye.
10 years today. Time has carried us forward, but love keeps circling back to you. Your name still warms the room. Your memory still knows the way home. Some lights never go out. They just settle into the heart and shine from there. Still the heart reaches. Still the love remains. You're a mist in every corner, loved in every season, held in every prayer. You remain so close, in the laughter we still hear, in the stories we still tell, in the love that never learned to fade. You'll always live in our hearts.